overview of Srimad Bhagavatam and how Srimad Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself. And the whole Bhagavatam just in 1 hour. And then first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto, sixth canto, seventh canto, eighth canto, ninth canto, 10th canto. As I'm saying this, each canto, each pure devotee. Yeah. Third canto, Brahma prayers, then fourth canto, Dhruva Maharaj, then Prithu Maharaj, then like that. Yeah. So now we are in 10th canto. 10th canto is Ashraya Tattva, our Lord, sweet Lord, Lord Krishna, Ashraya Tattva. We are in 10th canto and we have heard starting from the appearance of the Lord, and we have completed 2/3 of the 10th canto. And in the last 1/3, I think we are in the half of the last 1/3. Yeah. So we have heard about Rukmini Krishna in the last session, in the last week. Rukmini Krishna. How Nandanandana Krishna, Devaki Nandana Krishna, Yashoda Nandana Krishna, and Radha Vallabha Krishna, Gopinath Krishna has become Rukmini Krishna, that we have heard in the last session. Today we are going to hear how our Lord Krishna is, he's like a shining moon, and his queens, the Dwaraka queens, are like the stars around this moon, brilliant moon. So we will hear more about those stars today, more of Dwaraka queens. So we will hear about, so far we have heard about Rukmini Krishna, the first queen of Dwaraka, Rukmini Devi. And today we will hear about the second queen, Jambavati, third queen, Satyavati, and the fourth one, fourth and fifth, Kalindi and Mitravinda. And then Nagnachit or Satya, sixth one. And Lakshmana, and we will get to that. We'll get to her name too. Yeah. So Lakshmana and blanking on the name. We'll get to her also. So these 8 principal queens, and how Lord Krishna also married 16,101. That also we will hear. So total of 16,108 queens in Dwaraka. How did that number come, and how did the celebrations happen, and those pastimes we will hear today. So that's our, and that's what we are going to hear today, dear devotees. Yeah, one after the other. So here we will hear about Shamantak Mani, and other stories also will come, but this will be, and then this will be our topic today. So I think we can go ahead and go to the PowerPoint. Before that, I wanted to mention something, dear devotees. How Krishna Katha, the purpose of Krishna Katha, how with the mercy of our Acharyas and our Gurujana, they are actually making us sit. Yeah, they have instructed you hear Krishna Katha like that, right? So they gave the resources, they gave the Katha, they gave this time, they got us initiated, they made us sit, and now they are pouring this Krishna Katha into our ears, because whatever we are hearing is from them. So in this way, it is our Guru and Acharyas that are giving us Krishna into us. And what are they doing by doing this to us? Whatever Vishaya Vasana that we have within, Vishaya Vasana, Vishaya is anything pertaining to this material world, interactions of this material world, and resultant thoughts that occupy our mind. So in short, anything that causes attachment to this material world and misery is Vishaya Vasana. Yeah. We cannot sit and say, okay, I'm going to take this Vishaya Vasana outside of me. No, 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 no. Because we ourselves are filled with like that. Our hands, they are not clean to take out the dirt from our head. They're all totally dirty. That's why when the Nama or Katha is being given by our Gurujana like that, it washes us off. Chetodarpana Marjanam happens. All the Vishaya Vasana that is displaced, washed off with these pure waters of Krishna Katha, Nama. So that's what happens when we hear Krishna Katha. So we will be hearing about Krishna and about all these queens of Dwaraka. Yeah. Just the fact that we are hearing about our Lord, we are Mamaivamse Jivaloke. So who we are hearing about is our Lord. That is our Sambandha. And this is not like, okay, I have heard something about the stocks for an hour, 1 hour gone like that. No, this is our Lord and we are hearing about our Lord. So in this way, our Gurujana, with this Sambandha Tattva, they are infusing Krishna into us. Krishna Sambandha, Krishna Vasana into us. So the Vishaya Vasana can be displaced. Yeah. So that is what is going to happen when we hear Krishna Katha. So I am going to open this PowerPoint and we can start hearing about these pastimes. Yeah. So this is about the Shamantaka jewel. Okay. First story about, we just heard, right? The first queen was Rukmini Devi. The second one is Jambavati. How did that happen? Okay. Now Krishna is in Dwaraka. So, Ugrasena is the king of Dwaraka. But nevertheless, Krishna is called Dwarakadisha. Because all the citizens of Dwaraka, they consider the Lord as their maintainer. So, he's Dwarakadisha. So, Krishna is in Dwaraka. So, Satrajit was also in Dwaraka. This Satrajit is a worshipper of sun god, demigod sun, Surya. So in this way, sun god has given this Shamantakamani as a boon to Satrajit. He was pleased with his worship, Satrajit's worship, and he awards this boon to Satrajit, Shamantakamani. So Shamantakamani, money is a jewel, and since it is awarded by sun, so this is a very brilliant jewel, very, very effulgently shining jewel. So Satrajit, he got this gift from, he got this boon from sun god, and he was walking into Dwaraka. So he was looking so effulgent. Actually, no, there was so much effulgence coming from him because he was holding this Shamantaka jewel. This Shamantaka jewel was so effulgent, but that Satrajit was invisible. He was just holding that jewel, and the jewel was so effulgent. So everybody in the Dwaraka thought, as he was walking into the streets, everybody, Dwaraka-vasis, thought that sun god himself is coming. Then they went to Krishna and said, oh, Dwarakadisha, it looks like the sun god himself is coming and walking in the streets of Dwaraka. Then Lord Krishna says, no, he is Satrajit. He is looking effulgent because he has this Shamantak money. So Satrajit goes to his home taking the Shamantak money. And this Shamantak money has two things. Wherever this Shamantak money is, it brings all auspiciousness. There is no disease, there is no misery. relatively. There is no place in the world that is free of disease or misery, but relatively. So there is no disease, no misery, and with the influence of the Shamantaka jewel, there was tons and tons of gold that used to be produced because of the influence of the Shamantaka jewel every day. So tons of gold every day. This is the effect of Shamantaka jewel. So Satyajit placed this jewel in his house. So Lord Krishna, he heard about this jewel and came to Satyajit and then said, "Oh Satyajit, this Shamantaka jewel is so powerful, and it also brings so much auspiciousness. So how about we keep this Shamantaka jewel with the king? That way the whole kingdom can be benefited. The auspiciousness can spread into the whole kingdom, and whatever tons and tons of gold is being produced, then that can be used for welfare of all. So don't you think that would be a good idea? Don't you want to do so?" Lord Krishna said. Satyajit says, why do I have to do that? I worshipped demigod performing so many austerities, and he gave me this. So this is mine. And please mind, Satyajit knows that Dwarakadisha, Lord Krishna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Still, Satyajit says this. He says, "No, this jewel is mine, and I have earned it with the worship to demigod. I want to have it. I want to have all the results that it is giving to me. It does not make sense to me that I give this to somebody else." These are the words of Satyajit. Well, Lord Krishna says, "Okay, I mean, if you think so, that's fine. I kind of just suggested that it might be good. But if it doesn't appeal to you, fine, you can keep it with you." So Lord Krishna, he already suggested that to Satyajit. When something comes from the Lord, whatever Lord does or says to anybody is auspicious. So that suggestion to Satyajit was auspicious. But Satyajit had more faith in the auspiciousness of the Shamantakmani jewel than the words of Dwarakadisha. We will see what happens. So he had this jewel, Satyajit. And one day, his brother, Prasenajit, I think that's what his name is. So he takes this jewel and goes for hunting. And in there, big lion, he kills this Prasenajit. And then this lion takes the jewel. And then Jambavan, he was residing in the forest. Yeah, Jambavan was residing in the forest. And Jambavan, he is a very powerful fighter. He could fight with the lion easily, kill the lion easily, and get the Shamantakmani jewel. Why all this fight over this? Because it's very brilliant. It's looking very special. And Jambavan, he got this jewel for what? To give it as a play toy to his little one. Yeah. So Jambavan took this jewel and gave it to his child as a play toy. And meanwhile, what happened? Satyajit. Satyajit, he spread this. He accused Krishna. So he said, "Krishna actually came to me and he wanted the jewel for him. But I said, no, I don't see that jewel now with me. I think Krishna might have stolen it." How quick was he to accuse Krishna, Dwarakadisha? His attachment to Shamantakmani was so much. First of all, he did not heed to the suggestion of Lord Krishna, and And second thing is, on top of that, he's accusing Krishna that he has stolen his Shamantakmani jewel. Yeah. What is the attachment to this jewel is making this Satrajit say? The attachment to this jewel, something material, is blinding him so much, and he is refuting, he is disagreeing to the proposition of the Lord. Not only that, he's accusing the Lord also. His madness, his attachment, his love for something material is so much that he's shunning away Krishna. This is what Satrajit. He's, first thing is, he did not agree with the suggestion. And second thing, even more than that, is he's now accusing Krishna. Okay. What a material attachment can do to push away the Lord from our life, from our way, our material attachment, be it be a person or a thing or anything, what it can really do. And the Satrajit knows that Dwarkadisha is a Krishna. So this is what happened. So he accused Krishna. Then Krishna, to prove that he is not guilty, he said, okay, I did not take the Shamantakmani. I will look for it and I will bring that for you. And I will prove that I did not steal this one. He didn't have to do that, but he is playing the role of the Dwaraka Disha, the informal king there. So he has to refute that one, the blame on him. So Lord Krishna, he goes into the forest in search of this Shamantaka jewel after talking to the people about what happened to Shamantaka jewel. And when he heard that the Prasenajit took this jewel and went to the forest, then Krishna went to the forest in search of the jewel. And then he saw that Prasenajit was killed and the lion was killed. And then finally he saw this gem, the jewel, shining jewel in the hands of the little baby playing in the cave of Jambavan. So he goes inside the cave to bring that Shamantakmani jewel. So he tells his army, Krishna, he tells that he is going to get this jewel and he should wait for a certain period of time. All the army should wait for a certain period of time. And if he does not return after some time, then it means he might have lost the war and he left the world. So the army should return back to Dwaraka. So Lord Krishna gives all these instructions to the soldiers and asks him to wait outside the cave, and he gets into the cave. And the cave is closed now, and he sees this jewel in the hands of this baby, and Jambavan is there, guarding the baby and the jewel. So Krishna tries to take this jewel away from the child, and Jambavan gets very furious, very angry. Jambavan is a great fighter in the times of Lord Rama, and that was in Treta Yuga. So he gets very angry and he starts fighting with the Lord. He doesn't recognize the Lord. Jambavan doesn't recognize the Lord. So he fights with Krishna for 28 days. For 28 days, the fight was going on. And how is this happening? Because Jambavan, during Ramayana time, he saw how powerful of a warrior Lord Ram is. And Jambavan was also very powerful, very strong warrior. So Jambavan asks Lord Ram, after all the war was over, Ravana was killed. He asks Lord Ram, he says, "Oh my Lord, you are so powerful, you are so strong. Can I ask you a boon? can I have a chance to fight with you? Very similar to the Virya Rasa of Bhishma. So in this mood of Virya Rasa, Jambavan asks this to Lord Rama to please, if he can fight with Lord Ram, have the exchange of Virya Rasa with Lord Rama. Then Lord Rama says, oh, I am Maryada Purushottama in this avatara. How can I fight with my devotee? But I will be doing everything in the next avatara. That will be beyond all the rules and regulations. So then I will fight with you. He says that during Treta Yuga, Lord Ram. Now he's coming in the form of Krishna. Jambavan doesn't know this. He's thinking, who is this young boy? Yeah, he's coming. Maybe, of course, he may be a king, but well, we'll see how strong it is. So Jambavan was very confident of his strength and he did not recognize who he was fighting with. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, days are passing by and Jambavan was thinking, who is this that I'm fighting with? Then by 27th, 28th day, Jambavan was thinking, oh, this must be somebody. I always wanted to fight with a great warrior, and he seems to be a very great warrior. And I think I am losing. He must be somebody very extraordinary. So those moments are coming, those final moments on 27th, 28th day. This is happening towards Jambavan's side. And what's happening towards Lord Krishna's side? Lord Krishna also, he also wanted to taste that Virya Rasa. Well, he killed the demons in Vrindavan. They were just so very easy for them. Huh? And after that Kamsavada, it was just a peanut. Huh? And Kalayavana came. He didn't even have to kill Kalayavana. He was just burnt with the glance of Muchakunda. So Krishna was also thinking. And Jarasandha was good for nothing. Huh? Krishna was thinking, I want to enjoy some Virya Rasa also. Because the Lord was also thinking like that. And also, the Lord gave this boon to Jambavan that he will satisfy the Virya Rasa of his devotee. The Lord covered Jambavan with his Maya, so the Jambavan wouldn't recognize that he's fighting with the Lord. So that's what happened for 28 days. And by 28 days, both of them had enough satiation of the Virya Rasa. Jambavan felt it, and Krishna also felt it. And that's when Krishna revealed himself as Raghunandana Ramachandra, the Lord of Jambavan. Then Jambavan, he pays respects, prostrate obeisances and pays respects. And he says, oh, my Lord, now you remembered the prayer I had for you, the desire I had, and you remember, and you came now in this Vapar Yuga, and you have fulfilled my desire, my Lord. I am so happy. So, like that, Jambavan, he offers prayers. He gives Shamantakmani, and he also says, would you please take this Kanyamani, Jambavati, the daughter of Jambavan. So in this way, Jambavan, he gives Jambavati, his daughter, in marriage to Lord Krishna after offering prayers. So in this way, Jambavati becomes the second queen of our Lord Krishna. Yeah. So, and that was that's our Lord. He does not forget what he has promised. We might forget, but he does not forget. He waits for the right time to fulfill the promises that he has given. So in this way, he reciprocated with Jambavan with the promise that he made in Treta Yuga. The sweetness of this Lord, how busy is he? He acts as if his only business is to reciprocate with his devotees. Like the pure devotees, They live only to reciprocate lovingly with the Lord. And what is the Lord doing? He is doing the same thing too. Who is big, who is small here? Who bound who? Yeah. So this is how the Lord reciprocated to Jambavan. And you know the other pastime during Lord Ramachandra's pastime, dear devotees. Those are the Muni, the Dandakaranya, the Munis in Dandakaranya. Hasam Hareeravanata Akilaloka Tivram Shokashrusagara Vishoshanamatyudaram Sammohanaya Rachitam Nijamaya Yasya Bhrumandalam Munikrite Makaradvajasya. This is describing how beautiful the lotus face of the Lord is and the smile of the Lord. Hasam Harer Avanata Akila Loka Tivra Shokashra Sagara Vishoshana Matyudaram. Hasam Harer. Hasam is the smile, beautiful smile of Hari. Hasam Harer Avanata Akila Loka Tivra. Akila Loka. So the gentle smile on the face of Lord Hari, Akila Loka Tivra Shokashru Sagara Vishoshanam. Akila Loka, the all the living entities. Tivra Shokashru Sagara Vishoshanam is saying all the living entities that are troubled and are having Shroka Ashru Sagara. They are so much troubled that their tears are forming the lakes. Okay. So the tears forming the lakes of the conditioned souls, when they see the smile on the lotus face of Lord Hari, Akila Loka Tivra Shokashru Sagara Vishoshanam Atyudaram. Atyudaram is very benevolent. Vishoshanam means the lakes of water that is formed by the tears of a conditioned soul is just evaporated when the conditioned soul is taking the darshan of the smile, very benevolent smile of Lord Hari. Yeah. And Sammohanaya Rachitam Nijamaya Yasya Bhrumandalam Munikrite Makaradvajasya. So far, that was the glorification of very benevolent smile of Lord Hari. When we take the darshan of the deity and have the darshan of that benevolent smile of the Lord, it is said that the benevolent smile of the Lord evaporates the ponds of the tears that are formed by the conditioned souls. That is the power of the benevolent smile of the Lord. And the next one is Sammohanaya Rachitam Nijamaya Yasya Bhrumandalam Munikrite Makaradvajasya. The eyebrows of the Lord are so enchanting, so alluring and enchanting and fascinating that the relishment and fascination that we get when we take the darshan of the beautifully curved eyebrows of the Lord, the taste of that relishment is so much sweeter and higher that one loses the taste of the lust. And that is the power of the darshan of the Lord. The benevolent smile evaporates the ponds of the tears because of the miseries, and the enchanting, beautifully arched eyebrows of the Lord captivates us so much that we are not troubled by lust anymore. The lust captivating captivation becomes very small and weak when compared to the enchanting captivation of the beautifully bowed, arched eyebrows of the Lord. So this is in relationship to the Dandakaranya Munis. When they saw Lord Ramachandra walking in the forest of Dandakaranya, they thought, oh, look at this enchanting Lord. Look at his face, look at his eyebrows. They forgot that they are munis. They forgot that they are in male bodies. And they had this conjugal feeling for Lord Ramachandra. In order to please their desire of conjugal feeling, then Lord Ramachandra had to say to the Dandakaranya rishis that he cannot really marry the rishis because they are in the male bodies and Lord Ram is Ekapatni Vrata. But Lord Ram said, in the next avatara, I will be beyond any rules and regulations. Yes, I will satisfy all of your desires. So these Dandakaranya rishis, they become Rishichari gopis in the Krishna Leela. So how the Lord, he has promised everybody during the Treta Yuga, and he's busy fulfilling all the promises in Dwapara Yuga. He did that to Kubja, he did that to Rishichari gopis, and he's doing this to Jambavan. Different rasas, different reciprocation. He's busy fulfilling all the promises. Lord is super busy reciprocating with all his devotees so lovingly. Yeah. So in this way, Jambavan gives Jambavati, his daughter, in marriage to Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna takes Jambavati to Dwaraka. Now, all the Dwarakavas are very happy. So Lord Krishna is returning with Jambavati. That's how she becomes the second queen of Dwaraka. And then what happens now? So he returns to Dwaraka with Jambavati and also with Shamantakmani, right? So then he calls Satrajit. He says, look, Satrajit, I did not steal this money and I don't need this money. Okay, you take this money back. And by doing this, all the citizens of Dwaraka who heard all these accusations from Satrajit, they also were quietened. Now everybody is clear. All the doubts were clear and accusations got cleared. And now Satrajit was feeling so bad. He was feeling guilty. He was like, what is my material attachment? Yeah, I did not hear for the first time when the Lord said, why don't you keep it in the king's palace? And second time I dared to accuse him and I spread this rumor. He feels very bad. And he thinks he should do some prayaschitta. And he also thinks, the other thing he was thinking is, how would all the citizens of Dwarka think of me? What would they think of me? Yeah, they would think that I'm an accuser. So I should see that ill fame goes away. So I have to do something in order to counteract that. So I will give my daughter Satyabhama in marriage to Krishna. And of course, I will give the Shamantakmani also. That way, whatever ill fame that I have, then that will go away. And that's how Satrajit thinks. And he approaches Lord Krishna and says, oh, Krishna, please take this Shamantakmani and of course this Nari Mani also, Satyabhama. Then Lord Krishna says, okay, you can keep that Shamantakmani with you. I will take the Nari Mani, Satyabhama, because Satyabhama wanted Krishna as her husband. Because Satyabhama loves Krishna, Krishna agreed to marry Satyabhama, but he didn't care for Shamantakmani. So in this way, Satyabhama became the third queen of Dwaraka. Third queen of Lord Shri Krishna. So now Jambavati, Satyabhama, Rukmini, they are in Dwaraka. The Shamantakmani is with, again with Satrajit. What happened then? What happened was, previously, Satrajit has promised Shatadhanva and Kritavarma, also Akrura. It looks like he has promised many that he would give this Shamantakmani Jival and also Satyabhama in marriage. So now that Satyabhama is married to Krishna, so this king, Shatadhanva and Kritavarma, these are the kings, and also Akrura. Akrura is also involving this plot now. So Akrura and Kritavarma goes to Shatadhanva. And then they say, see, the Satrajit, he promised to give that Shamantakmani and also his daughter to us in marriage, but he did not do that. He gave Satyabhama to Lord Krishna. Yeah. And so since he did that, he broke his promise, we should kill him. And he still has that Shamantakmani with him, and we never know when he is going to give that Shamantakmani also to Krishna. So we should just kill him, kill Satrajit, and get that Shamantakmani. So that was the plan of Shatadhanva, Kritavarma, and Akrura. Did you see that, dear devotees? Akrura. Akrura is in this plot. How come this is happening? Because Akrura, when he came to Dwaraka, when he was sent by Kamsa to Vrindavana, dear devotees, we heard how Akrura was really meditating on Krishna, right? When he was riding in chariot, and as soon as he saw the lotus footprints of Krishna, he jumped from his chariot and he was paying respects and obeisances to the footprints of Lord Krishna. And Akrura brought Krishna back to Madhura. So he was a devotee, and he also had a vision. Krishna and Balarama, right? He got that vision when he was he went inside the water. He had the vision of Vaikunta. So he was a devotee. He was a pure devotee. And Akrura was sent to Hastinapura by Krishna to console Kunti and the Pandavas. So that cadre of a devotee was Akrura. How come he is in this plot now? To kill Satrajit and to get this Shamantakmani. Acharyas explained this one. Because Akrura was only thinking of his devotion to the Lord, his bhakti to the Lord, my bhakti to the Lord. That's all. My bhakti to the Lord, my absorption in the thoughts of the Lord. That's all. Me and the Lord, my bhakti and the Lord. And he came to Vrindavana. And then he brought Krishna back as Kamsa has instructed. So all this time, it was all Akrura was thinking, me, my bhakti and the Lord. He did not think about, I am bringing Bhagavan to Mathura. What about all these devotees that are so attached to Bhagavan? How are they feeling? I know I have come to Vrindavana because I was ordered to bring Krishna to Mathura. So I came here for the service. I have to do it. I am doing it. But he was so much caught up only in his devotion to Krishna and in his service, but he did not pay attention and was not sensitive enough to the feelings of the devotees around, especially the gopis. So when the gopis were singing in that Viraha Gita, when the gopis were feeling so sad, when Krishna had to leave the next day, Krishna had to leave Vrindavan next day. In the Viraha Gita, gopis say this. He is not Akrura, he is Krura. He came to take our Krishna to Mathura. And then they say, he doesn't even care for our feelings. Gopis say that. So Akrura, of course, he was there to take Krishna. But the thing is, he knows, he would have thought that these gopis, they are so much attached to Krishna. And these parents are so much attached to Krishna. So I have to say one word to gopis, at least. I have to empathize with them. That I had to take their Lord away from them. So I should say at least a word and empathize with them. Seek their, seek forgiveness for them for having to do this kind of job. He did not think. Akrura did not care much about the feelings of the gopis. That was the aparadha of Akrura. For that aparadha there, that he did not care for the feelings of the devotees of the Lord there, now he is in this plot today. To plot against Satrajit for the Shamantakmani. So Akrura, along with Shatadhanva and Kritavarma, in this plot, he also was a part of it, and Shatadhanva kills Satrajit and he steals the jewel. And by this time, what happens? What happens is, so this is happening in Dwaraka, right? Satrajit is in Dwaraka. This is happening in Dwaraka. So where is Krishna then? Because after marrying Satyabhama, then meanwhile a news comes to Dwaraka that the Pandavas were burnt alive in Lakka Griha, right? So everybody was thinking that the Pandavas were dead. Krishna knows that Krishna already has arranged for the Pandavas to escape from that Lakka Griha. But in order to just keep the formality, Krishna and Balaram also go to Hastinapura in order to mourn the death of Pandavas, because the Pandavas have to be in disguise. So Krishna cannot reveal that they are alive somewhere. So just to blend in with all of them and to keep the formality, when Krishna hears that Pandavas in quotes are died in Lakka Griha, so Krishna and Balarama goes to Hastinapura to console them, to console the rest of the family members, but he knows that the Pandavas have escaped. So that's how Krishna and Balarama are not in Dwaraka at this time. And so when this news comes to Hastinapura, that Satrajit was killed. Satyabhama comes to know that the Satrajit was killed, and this news comes to Hastinapura. And then Krishna comes to Dwaraka to kill Shatadhanva, who killed Satrajit. Krishna comes to Dwaraka for this purpose, to kill Satrajit. Balarama goes to Mithila. There he was teaching the Gadha Vidya, the club, teaching the art of club to Duryodhana. So that's when Balarama has become the guru of Duryodhana there, because he taught the art of fighting with the club, Gadha Vidya, to Duryodhana in Mithila. That is just a piece of information there that happened in Mithila. And Krishna came back to Dwaraka to kill Shatadhanva after he heard about the death of Satrajit. So Lord Krishna came back, and he searched and he was chasing Shatadhanva. So Shatadhanva heard that Krishna was chasing him. So he comes to Akrura and he comes to Kritavarma also and says, "No, please rescue me. I have killed Satrajit and Krishna is very angry with me. Can you give me shelter?" Then Akrura and Kritavarma says, "No, how can we give shelter? Krishna is such a great warrior. He killed so many. We are so small in front of them. So sorry, we cannot give you the shelter." Then Shatadanva says, okay, at least keep this money with you, the Shamantak money with you, and I'm going to be killed anyway. So he keeps the Shamantak money with Akrura, and he escapes from there. Of course, Krishna finds Shatadanva and kills the Shatadanva, and then finds out that the money is with Akrura. So meanwhile, what's happening is Akrura, when this killing of Shatrajit happened, and when this Shamantak money came in his hands, Akrura is not in Dwaraka anymore. He went to Kashi. He was performing penances there, and he was hiding there with the Shamantak money. Meanwhile, what happened was there were many bad omens coming upon the city of Dwaraka. So all the Dwarkavasis were thinking, oh, it is because Akrura is not here in Dwaraka. Akrura is not here, Shamantak Mani is not here again, and Krishna is not here. Maybe something is happening again to Akrura, and maybe Dwaraka Desha, yeah, Krishna is there, but maybe he's trying to steal the Shamantak Mani again. Dwarkavasis were thinking like that. And they were thinking all these bad omens are coming. It was said that Akrura, wherever Akrura would be there will be auspiciousness. There was some boon given to Akrura like that. So all the Dwarkavasis were thinking, now that Akrura is not there in Dwaraka, that's why the auspicious is not there. Look at the Maya. Dwarkadisha Krishna was there, and all these Dwarkavasis, they have welcomed Krishna, saying that Krishna, you are our father, you are our mother, you are our Lord. And now these Dwarkavasis, they are again accusing, suspecting Krishna. And they are thinking all these bad omens are because Akrura is not in the Dwaraka. So it is very easy for the conditioned souls to just shun away the Lord. Actually, it was the Lord that has created all that. But it is very easy for the conditioned souls to fall into the trap and think something against the Lord. So again, Lord Krishna had to prove that it is not he that killed the Satrajit, and he doesn't have the Shamantak Mani. So for that reason, he calls the Akrura, who is in Kashi. And he tells Akrura, Akrura, I know that you have the Shamantak Mani jewel. I am not going to kill you, because Akrura is actually a devotee. And because of the aparadha that he has done, he is just going through this cloud of offense. So Lord Krishna says that. So you simply have to tell all these Dwarakavasis that you have the Shamantak Mani jewel. So very mildly he chastises Akrura. Lord Krishna killed Shatadanva, but only mildly chastises Akrura. Then Akrura, he realizes his mistakes. He begs his forgiveness, and he says to all Dwarakavasis that the Shamantak Mani jewel is actually with him, and Lord Krishna has nothing to do with any of this conspiracy. So in that way, even the Lord had to put the effort to show that he is not guilty. In this day and age, dear devotees, this is something fault-finding accusations. Even the Lord could not escape. When Srila Prabhupada came in, he could not escape. None of the great souls who came here to rescue us, none of them could escape, were barred from the fault-finding and accusations. And when that happens, what did Lord Krishna do? He had to clarify, give clarification. Does he really have to do that? Bhagavan doesn't have to do that. Even the great souls, they don't have to do that, because they're untouched by the opinion of common public anyway. They don't have to do it. They're very clear in their mind why they did it, what they did. They don't have to do it. Then why did Krishna do it? Because he was being kind to the people of Dwaraka for their sake. So they don't have that cloud in their head. For their sake, Krishna had to give clarity. Not that he is looking for worship from them again. For these great souls and the Lord, worship or abuse or anything is the same from the people around. But just out of their mercy, just out of the mercy of the Lord, kindness of the Lord, he gave the clarity to the Dwarakavasis. He cleared up their doubts. So, very magnanimous Lord. He doesn't have to do this, but just to clear the clouds in the heads of the Dwarakavasis, he did it for their sake. Yeah, that we have heard. How all these great souls in Bhagavan, they do this. This also they do it for the in the best interest of the people, of the devotees, the general public, like that. So in this way, so Satrajit was killed, and so Akrura, he also realizes his mistake, and he begs pardon also. So this is the story of Shamantakmani Jewel. What this jewel has caused, Shamantakmani Jewel is meant to bring so much of auspiciousness. But the very same thing which is supposed to give auspiciousness gave so much of inauspiciousness to Satrajit. Because Satrajit was so attached to something of this material world, to a point that he put Krishna aside and accused him. And that putting him aside and accusation upon the Lord, that resulted in his death now. So anything, whatever, however auspicious, however auspicious it might be in this material world, but when it is opposed to the Lord, then it will only be inauspicious to the conditioned soul. Yeah. Whatever thought, whatever person, whatever thing that we consider maybe auspiciousness and cling to it. But if it comes to the point of shunning away the Lord and clinging to this thing, it only brings inauspiciousness to the conditioned souls. So that attachment to anything material to that extent can actually make somebody blind and shun Krishna away. So that we have to be mindful. So that is about Satrajit and Shamantakmani jewel. Okay. So so far we have heard about Jambavati and Satyavati. Yeah. And now, so those are the three queens and the fourth queen. So, and we also heard about Satrajit and other take-home points too. But now coming to the next one, who is the next queen? There are these three and the other 5 princes. Total 8. These 8 are the main queens of Dwaraka. Yeah. So who are those other 5 princes? Next one after Satyavati is Kalindi. So what is the story of Kalindi? Krishna, when he went to Hastinapura, Indraprastha, he was with Arjuna, and he helped Arjuna to burn a forest and to help Agni Deva burn the forest of herbs, so the Agni can get all the benefit of the herbs in the forest. Yeah. So Agni Deva was very much pleased with Arjuna's help, which was because of Krishna. And Agni Deva gave a chariot to Arjuna. This is the chariot that Arjuna was standing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yeah. So during this trip to Indraprastha and during this forest. During this trip to the forest, Arjuna and Krishna were still going around in the forest, and they saw a beautiful lady. A beautiful lady um, who was in the forest. Yeah, Krishna and Arjuna was at they were drinking the water there, and they saw this beautiful lady passing by. And Krishna sent Arjuna to ask, to find about the whereabouts of this beautiful lady. Then Arjuna asks her, and this lady replies. She says that she's Kalindi, and she's the daughter of sun god, and she's worshipping so she can get Lord Vishnu as her husband, Krishna as her husband. So she says that, and of course Arjuna goes and gives this message to Lord Krishna, and in this way Kalindi is married to Lord Krishna. That's Kalindi. She becomes the fourth wife. She's the fourth queen of Dwaraka. And who is the next one after Kalindi? Is Mitravinda. Mitravinda is a princess. Again, this story is very similar to Rukmini. Mitravinda is a princess, but the whole family is more in favor of Kauravas. So they were not very much agreeable for Mitravinda to marry Krishna. But Mitravinda is in love with the Lord, and she wanted Lord Krishna as her husband. So Lord Krishna comes to know about this in the same fashion as he did with Rukmini. Lord Krishna goes to this Avanti kingdom and kidnaps this princess of Avanti, Mitravinda, and marries her, same as in Rakshasa style, as he did with Rukmini. So here, dear devotees, the Lord Mitravinda getting married to Krishna was almost impossible there, because everybody around, they were just in favor of Kauravas. But just because Mitravinda, she prayed that Lord Krishna be her husband, Lord heard her prayer. All that one has to do is just call out to the Lord, and it is up to him. He will make his way to come to us and to rescue us. Doesn't matter how many obstacles and difficulties and how much buried we are in, how much shackled we are. It's the prayer from within. Krishna, please help. That's all. The Lord is sitting in the heart and makes the arrangements accordingly. So that's how Mitravinda was married to Lord Krishna. And next comes Nagnajiti. She's also called Satya. She's different from Satyabhama. So this marriage is like this. Nagnajiti, she is the daughter of King Nagnajit. So Nagnajiti also, Satya also wanted Krishna as her husband. But her father Nagnajit was ready to give her in marriage to Krishna, but he says, as a Kshatriya, I have this challenge, that I have these 5 bulls. They are very ferocious and they are very strong. Nobody can actually noose them, put a rope in their nose and noose them and control them. There are many kings that came and tried doing it, but they were shattered. They were broken, shattered, and killed. So I had this desire to give my daughter Nagnajiti in marriage to someone who can noose these 5 bulls, ferocious bulls, at a time. So, oh Lord, I know that you are very powerful. You are almighty. Would you please do that? Then Lord Krishna says, okay. So he expands himself. Lord Krishna expands himself into 5 forms. And then he puts a rope in the nose of these bulls. He nooses them and then controls them and then subdues them. So in this way, he marries Nagnajiti. Lord Krishna wins this test because he could subdue all those bulls and marries Nagnajiti. So that's the marriage with Nagnajiti or Satya. And next comes Bhadra. Yeah, this is the name that I was banking on. Bhadra and Lakshmana, 7th and 8th queen. So Bhadra and Lakshmana. For this, Lakshmana, her marriage was not described in the 10th canto, but later on, not in this sequence here, but later on when Draupadi comes to visit all these queens in Dwaraka later during the war of Kurukshetra, that's when the marriage of Lakshmana was described. But what the description is, it is like this. Very similar to, the Matsya Yantra. For Arjuna to marry Subhadra. Yeah. Right? So he had to aim at this Matsya Yantra and shoot in the eyes of that fish that is revolving above. So in a similar manner, Krishna had to do something very similar to marry Lakshmana. So in this way, Krishna is married with to his 8 principal queens of Dwaraka. Yeah. And how about the rest of 16,101 queens? What's the story about that? Yeah. So, the story about this is this. Yeah. Narakasura or Bhaumasura. This Bhaumasura, he was a demoniac king. He was actually the son of Bhumi Devi, but he was a demoniac king. And he was causing terror, and Indra requested Krishna to please kill this Bhaumasura or Narakasura. So Krishna goes to kill Narakasura, goes on Garuda with Satyabhama to kill Narakasura. And his fort was being protected by a demon called Mura. And this Mura had 5 heads. Mura had 5 heads. So Krishna had to first kill this Mura demon. And that's why he is called Murari also, because he killed Mura demon. And after that, he killed Bhaumasura also. Then Bhumi Devi comes. Bhumi Devi comes and says, "Oh Lord, this is our son, Narakasura. I know he has turned demonic and you have killed him. But his son is worth becoming a king. So would you please make him the king?" Then Krishna makes the son of Bhaumasura, Narakasura, as king. And then there are 16,100 princesses that were captured by Bhaumasura and were imprisoned all this time. And after killing Bhaumasura, Lord Krishna goes there and sets free all these princes. And he says, "Okay, all of you princes, now you can go back to your kingdom, to your place, now that you are set free." Then all these princes, they are looking at Krishna. All of them are, of course, they're attracted to Krishna. And of course, everybody wants Krishna as her husband. mm, Krishna. Krishna is the one who attracts and that and who gives pleasure. So no wonder 16,100. Yes, all of them wanted him as their husband. And the other thing is they were saying, oh Lord, you have set us free. But even if you send us back, who are going to marry us? Because Bhaumasura has captured us and put all of us in his custody. So nobody is going to marry us. Krishna, the Lord, how merciful is he? These queens who are captured by Bhaumasura, they are not touched by mortal beings, the mortal kings. They would not touch them because they consider these queens as polluted because they were under the custody of a king for a long period of time. But look at Bhagavan. Those queens who are considered untouchable and polluted by mere, after all, mortal kings, the Lord himself, he very graciously, very magnanimously accepted all of them as his wives. How much beyond the morals and ethicals and touchables and untouchables and pollutions, and how much beyond all these things is the Lord. Somebody who is considered polluted and untouchable by a mortal king, Lord is giving the place of the queen of Dwaraka, a place of being his wife. How udara, how magnanimous is the Lord. His considerations are totally on a different scale. Polluted, not polluted, pure, impure, nothing matters to him. How merciful is he? Huh? So in this way, the Lord has accepted so-called all these polluted princes as his own wives of Dwaraka, and he placed them in Dwaraka. He sent them to Dwaraka, and now that the war is done, Bhaumasura is killed. With Satyabhama, Lord Krishna went to Indra, and he returned the earrings of Aditi and the umbrella of Varuna that was stolen by Bhaumasura. He returned them to Indra. And Indra was very happy. Oh, yeah, my lord, thank you so much. You have killed Bhaumasura. You have saved my position as Indra. You're returning the jewels back of my mother. Indra, he was so happy that all his selfishness is completely satisfied. Here, now Satyabhama, along with Lord Krishna, came to this Indraloka, and Satyabhama saw this Parijata tree, and she wanted to take Parijata tree with her. What does Indra do? Up until then, oh, thank you, Krishna. Thank you, you killed Bhaumasura. You are so wonderful, Krishna. Thank you for the earrings that you have brought for Mother Aditi's earrings that you brought. You are so wonderful, Krishna. Thank you for the Varuna's umbrella that you have brought. You have brought the fame of Swarga back, Krishna. We are so much obliged to you. You are the best, Krishna. Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. And when Krishna is asking Parijata from Indra, quickly Indra stance switches. How can I give that Parijata to you, Krishna? No, this is mine. Like a child, selfish child. Indra. Right? Up until then, thank you, because you gave me so many things. And when Parijata tree is asked, how can I give my Parijata tree? This is mine. This is supposed to be in Swarga. This is my place. Parijata tree is the opulence of Swarga. This is the right place for Swarga, Krishna. How can I give that Parijata tree to you? Oh my goodness. My. Such self-centered minus. Indra already had his lesson. Surabhi, when after that Govardhan Leela, Indra felt ashamed. But do you remember, dear devotees? What did Indra say? Oh, after that, he lifting off that Govardhan hill, right? After the Samvartaka clouds were withdrawn. What did Indra say? Oh, so sorry about that, Krishna. Can you forgive this? Please forgive my offense. That's all. He did not feel like, I am unfit to be in this Indra position. Oh, Krishna, what am I doing? I'm unfit to be in this position. I don't want this position. Indra did not say that. Just according to the situation, sorry. And then when the situation against, how can I give you this? And again, sorry. Then how can I give you this? Indra. This is happening repeatedly with Indra. So now Indra forgot all that. He forgot what he did during the Govardhan Leela. And he just got those earrings and umbrella back, and he killed Lord Krishna, killed Bhaumasura. So much was given. But again, such a selfish child couldn't give the tree, Parijata tree. He had his own reasons of why he should keep his Parijata tree. Does this remind to you, dear devotees? Children, Children, a selfish child. Child, it doesn't have to be child, but child or a big one, whoever it is, that's that selfish child mentality. That was Indra. So Krishna had to give him lesson again, chastise him. And then he brings that Parijata tree for Satyabhama to Dwaraka. So in this way, the Parijata tree comes to Dwaraka. So that is how 16 comes back to Dwaraka, right? Along with Parijata tree, Satyabhama and Parijata tree. And then he marries the rest of that 1600 princesses that were brought from Bhaumasura to Dwaraka. They were placed there in Dwaraka, and now he marries all of them. In this way, now Krishna has 16,108 princesses, 8 main and the other 16,100 princesses. He had, then one would think, oh, Krishna Leela, I want to mimic whatever Krishna is saying. Krishna is doing. He has so many marriages. I can do that too. Krishna had 16,108 princesses. Krishna divided himself to 16,108 personalities at same time. And each queen resided in each palace, 16,108 palaces. And all of those queens are given equal position. The Lord is so generous and magnanimous. He did not consider the 16,100 princesses anyway inferior to rest of them. He treated them all equal. So all of them had their own palaces, and he had Lord Krishna was with each one of those princes simultaneously in 16,108 times. And in the morning, all these 16,108 forms of the Lord would come out of these 16,108 palaces and fuse as one Dwarakadisha. And then he goes to the Sudharma Assembly Hall for the managerial affairs of the kingdom. So in this way, Lord Krishna very inconceivably divided himself into 16,108 forms, and then had his pastimes as a householder. Yeah. Here, this verse is given. This is a beautiful one. How the household life of Krishna is so much different from a mortal being's household life. This is from the first canto. when the description of Dwaraka was given, the queens of the Dwaraka. Uddhamaභāvapiṣunāmalavaļguhāsaṁ vrīdāvalokanīhato madanopiyāsaṁ sammuhya chāpam ajahat pramadottamāstāṁ yasyendriyam vimatitum kuhakairna shekuhu. In this way, Lord Krishna was spending time with all these queens in Dwaraka. And the verse says, how Uddhama Bhava, how grave are these expressions of these queens of Dwaraka. Pishunamala Valguhasa. And how exciting and pure are the Valguhasa, enchanting smiles of these queens of the Dwaraka. Vridavalokanihyato madanopiyasam. Their corner glances, their glances from the corner of their eyes were so enchanting. So all the feminine features of this Dwaraka queens were so enchanting that even the Lord Shiva would be falling to, would be enchanted by this, but not Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna, yes, these all these queens and their feminine attributes, all of them are spiritual. And in that way, Lord Krishna is reciprocating with his own spiritual energy. But more than that, the devotion of the queens of the Dwaraka, that bound the Lord in their hearts. And how the conjugal exchanges of the queens of Dwaraka or the gopis of Vrindavana with the Lord are selfless, transcendental, not for their happiness, but for the happiness of the Lord, which is opposed to the lusty affairs here, which are performed for one's own gratification. Yeah. So in this way, the Lord was spending his time, his pastime as a grihastha, in this 16,108 palaces with all these princes. And the last thing is, there's a little pastime just to show the Rukmini Devi's subordinating mood. Krishna teases Rukmini. One day, Krishna says, now by this time, Krishna and Rukmini were married for many years, and they remain always youthful, but many years. So one day, Krishna was saying, Rukmini, you know what? Let me ask you something. Do you think you made the right decision of marrying me? See, though I am a Kshatriya, I have this background of cowhead boy. And I was a ranachor. I escaped from the battle. Yeah. And, but Shishupal was not like that. He was a Kshatriya. So, don't you think it would have been good that you married Shishupal or some other Kshatriya instead of me, who had this this cowherd background and who has this history of running away from the war zone, war field. So like that, Krishna was teasing Rukmini and saying, do you think you made a right decision in marrying me? Rukmini, just by hearing that, she was thinking that Krishna might leave her now. Why is my Lord saying these words? Is he going to leave me now? Just with the thought, she falls unconscious. So such is the love of these consorts of the Lord. Very similar one is Srimati Radharani's. That is even more. Krishna was there, right there. And there was a bumblebee that by name Madhu. And there she was told that Madhu is gone. It means the bumblebee is gone. Krishna was sitting right there. But Radharani goes into spiritual madness, thinking that Madhu, Krishna is not there with her. So their absorption is at a different level. So this is just to say how absorbed is Rukmini Devi uh, and how great is her devotion for the Lord, that she could not tolerate even that little talk, sarcastic talk. She could not tolerate that. So after she came back to consciousness, she refutes one after the other of what she said. How he may be a cowherd boy, but how he is supreme, like that. So that was a little pastime, Krishna teasing Rukmini to emphasize the glories of Rukmini Devi, her devotion and attachment to the Lord Krishna. That's all, dear devotees. So for this week, that's all we have. Yeah. So we will summarize now. We will take on. We'll try to see from the very beginning, actually, from the Acharya bhajans. So there we have heard how the potency of Acharyas, the Vani of the Acharyas. In the Vani of the Acharyas is their mood, which can soften our hearts. Very potent Acharya Vani. Yeah, that we have heard. And in the Katha in Bhagavat Pravaha, today what we have heard is the Satrajit, right? Yeah. What happened to Satrajit? The attachment of Satrajit to Shamantakmani. How something very auspicious can turn into inauspicious thing if the person is going against and away from the God. Then anything auspicious will also turn into inauspicious. So if a material attachment is dragging us away from the Lord to the point of finding fault with the Lord, then it is not so good. It's not so good for us. That we have heard from Satrajit's attachment to Shamantaka Mani. How the Lord was really kind, and he knew that this Shamantakmani jewel is going to cause this to Satrajit. So he was trying from the very beginning, and he was suggesting Satrajit. How? So whatever Lord's intervention is, words are to bring us out of the attachment is for our own good. So we should remember that and agree and cooperate with the Lord for our own good. So he's trying to take away that material attachment for us, which would cause pain to us. So we should cooperate with him. Let him do that. Yeah. So that's one thing, Satrajit. And then Jambavati, right? Jambavan, Krishna. How the Lord reciprocates, how he fought the Virya Rasa. Yeah. How the Lord does not forget his promise. And he comes back and fights with Jambavan to fulfill his desire. There we have heard how the Lord is really busy in fulfilling the promises of his devotees. And then Jambavati is returned comes to the Dwaraka, and Shamantakmani again. Yeah, Satrajit. He gives Satyabhama to Lord Krishna. And again, Satrajit, he was still trying to give this the Shamantakmani back to Krishna just so that nobody would find fault with him. He was so attached to it. And we have seen finally how it led to his own death. That's about the Shamantakmani and Satrajit. We have heard about the Jambavan and Satyavati. Okay. And next thing was Akrura, right? Yeah. In the killing of Satrajit. how he was part of it. And Akrura, how he was just focused on his bhakti to Bhagwan, but did not pay attention to what the devotees of the Bhagwan were going through. So it is very important when we say bhakti to Bhagwan. Bhagwan is all inclusive. Bhagwan is not exclusive. He's always with his devotees. So we cannot displease devotees and please Bhagwan. So that we should always keep in mind. Something that is not pleasing to the devotees cannot be pleasing to the Bhagwan. And devotees are part of Bhagwan. That we have to be mindful. Sometimes we may have to do the seva that is given to us, but still being mindful to the devotees who are worshipping Bhagwan. That we have heard from Akruras. So Akruras done, and then the marriages with the rest of the queens, right? Kalindi. And next one was Mitravinda, right? Yeah. So Mitravinda was in such a place where her prayer cannot be heard because she was surrounded by all um, by everyone that is favorable to Kauravas. But nevertheless, the Lord in the heart, how the prayer can call the Lord and how the Lord can rescue despite so many obstacles around, like he rescued and married Mitravinda, that we have heard. Kalindi, Mitravinda, then Bhadra, and then Lakshman. So those are the 8 principal queens and the 16,101. How big-hearted is the Lord, magnanimous is the Lord, that he accepted. He accepted all of those so-called polluted queens as his own, very own queens of Dwaraka, and married them and gave those palaces separately. That's the magnanimity of the Lord. And then with the Parijata, when Bhaumasura is killed and Lord goes to Indra, how selfish and childish is Indra. Whenever this Indra comes, it is it is a self-check for us. How selfish and childish am I? Yeah? I want this, I got this. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. I want this, I got this. I want this, I got this. How can you ask this from me, Krishna? No, 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 no. How can I do this for you, Krishna? No, 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 no. Oh, this service is difficult, Krishna. These troubles are too much, Krishna. These problems you are giving me are too much, Krishna. Yeah. Indra is more like a depiction of self-centeredness. Yeah. There. Yeah. And then Parijata tree, 16,108 wives, and all of them in different palaces. And we have heard about how the pastimes of the Lord, though as a householder, are still transcendental and are different from the mundane grihastha life or grihamethi life. Yeah, that's all, dear devotees. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, thank you. Rasa Krida.